that one. You are looking at Monroe High School, home of the Bearcats and home of a Wesco 4A basketball game tonight in which first place is on the line. It is the Glacier Peak Grizzlies versus the Monroe Bearcats. Good evening and welcome from Monroe High School. Steve Willits along with Ron Henthorn. Todd Elvick is the producer. Big basketball game here tonight, Ron. This is a Wesco 4A league. We're almost wrapping up our first round robin of the season. They play 2 games against every team. Right now, Glacier Peak in first place, 5-0 in the standings. Monroe 1 game behind them. And whoever wins this game tonight essentially is in the top spot.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. And Monroe had a tough week here last week because they lost to Kamiak, who was in 3rd place. Then turned around, Glacier Peak turned around and beat Kamiak last week.
And sent a message loud and clear on that one too, I might add, right?
Very loud and clear, just a big blowout, Glacier Peak over Kamiak. So, you look at like a horse race, Kamiak beat Monroe and Glacier Peak beat Kamiak. So there's no reason why Glacier Peak shouldn't beat Monroe. But this is high school boys basketball and the 3-point rules.
3 points do rule. Things can change awfully quickly on any given night. We've seen it happen before. We've tried to oversimplify things in the past where, hey, if Team A beats Team B beats Team C, then Team A should crush Team C.
Yep.
Doesn't always happen that way, so I think we're in for a good game tonight. These are 2 teams that played each other 3 times last year, one of which was the Wesco 4A District Championship game, a game that Glacier Peak won. During the regular season, each team split the series, each team winning on their home floor. Monroe would like to do that again tonight, so we'll see what they can do as the public address announcer is just about ready to go here with the starting lineups. These 2 teams, again, battling for first place, also battling for positioning in the RPI rankings. Right now, Glacier Peak is at 19th, Monroe at 34. So really, because of the way it's situated and set up, that 8-2 record doesn't really mean as much to some of those folks out there. They view it as being a schedule in which some of the non-conference opponents weren't as tough as maybe some other people might have projected, and consequently it's keeping them down right now.
Yeah, and the RPI thing is pretty new for most fans because they don't really understand what's the difference between RPI and state rankings and newspaper rankings along the way.
Yeah.
But RPI is the really equitable way to rank them. It's based on who they play and what.
Well, and that actually means something too, whereas the rankings truly don't. The RPI rankings will determine the seedings when these guys come through the district playoffs. 2 teams will come out of Wesco 4A. 16 teams overall in the state. The 16 teams that are still remaining, they'll take their RPI rankings and rank them 1 through 16 accordingly. If you're in the top 8, you've got an automatic ticket punch to the Tacoma Dome. If you're 9 through 16, you essentially have to play a play-in game, if you will, at regionals to get there. So really, it's crucial. We saw it with Glacier Peak last year. They were essentially the number 7 or 8 seed that came out of those RPI rankings, and because of that, they were able to lose their regional game and still qualify for the Tacoma Dome. So both teams are aware of that. Both teams want to rise up through those rankings, and a win tonight over one or the other would certainly go a long ways in helping with that ranking.
Yeah, Monroe definitely would need to win tonight to move that ranking up for them.
So we'll see what they can do here as we look out on the floor. Glacier Peak, their starting lineup looks as follows. At number 5, a 6'5" senior Trey Lawrence. At number 20, a 6'4" junior Fletcher Douglas. Number 23, a 5'10" sophomore Braden Corwin. Number 25, a 6'4" junior. Number 25 is Noah Foreman, who you guys were calling chairman of the board last week. And then number 30, all Wesco last year, he's a 6'3" senior Bobby Martin. We will get you the Monroe lineup here momentarily as we now are going to pause for the Pledge of Allegiance. When we come back, we'll get you ready for the start of this game. Again, first place on the line tonight, you're watching STSPN.
When you shop at Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens, you not only find what you need, we make sure you get the help you need too. Hi, this is Gray Eaglestead, and I own Lake Stevens Ace Hardware with my wife Christine.
We'll greet you at the door and answer any questions you have about what you need. We're all about serving our customers and our community.
We support local high school sports and many other Lake Stevens organizations and events throughout the year.
So the next time you need something for that job around the house and a little friendly advice, come see us.
Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens, we are the helpful hardware folks.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folks.
And welcome back once again from Monroe High School. Steve Willits along with Ron Henthorn, Todd Elvick. Just read you the Glacier Peak starting lineup a moment ago. Now we are going to get to the Monroe Bearcat lineup. Number 1, a 5'10" sophomore, Efton Chisholm. Number 10, a 6'5" senior, Spencer Davidson. Number 23, a 5'8" senior, Isaiah Cole. Number 33, the Princeton commit, 6'7" senior, Colby Kyle. And rounding out the lineup, a 6'3" junior, a guard. Number 35 is Taylor Sturgeon.
And starting out on the court in the striped shirts out there tonight, we got Brian Kelly, Tom Friel, and Evan Sherlin. Evan throwing the ball up there for the first time as a referee tonight.
Always important to get the referees mentioned here and give them a little love. Colby Kyle down low, early on, off the glass and in.
Nice inside move for Colby.
Colby averaging right around 20 points per game this year, and certainly a player who they're expecting to have a big night tonight. They need to get him going. Speaking of a player that you'd like to get going, Bobby Martin hitting his first shot of the night, and it is a 3. So Glacier Peak says, we'll see your 2 and do you 1 better. Grizzlies out to a 3-2 lead here in the early going. Kyle along the left side, looks for Chisholm cutting into the lane, kicks it back out to Davidson. Davidson driving into the lane, floats one up from 5 feet out. It is good.
Don't look very nervous out there tonight. Looks like they're much in control.
Yeah, if we keep going at this right here, we're going to have a high-scoring affair. We'll see if it can keep it up here a little bit. You mentioned Monroe struggling against Kamiak mightily last week. Nice play there. Unfortunately for Glacier Peak, Fletcher Douglas not able to finish it off. Nice pass from Noah Foreman.
Wide open, too.
Wide open indeed. Now Monroe back for their 3rd possession of the game, already with a 1-point lead and looking to expand upon that. Davidson out on the wing, swings it over to Cole, deep on the right side, being guarded by number 23, Corwin. Davidson back to Kyle. Kyle driving baseline. It's a little bit of a push, and we're going to keep it right here as our first foul of the game will be called on Noah Foreman.
The foul on Grizzly, number 25, Noah Foreman, his first foul.
Reset the 35-second clock for Monroe. 6:24 to go here, first quarter. Davidson takes the inbound, drives towards the hoop, floats one up, and gets his 2nd bucket of the night, making it a 6-3 game. Monroe with their largest lead here in the early stages of this basketball game. Bobby Martin looking to answer. Off the mark, number 25, Foreman jumping up, bats it out to Corwin, tries to go back to Foreman. Ball is batted away. Coming up with it is Isaiah Cole, doing a nice job to get it over to Sturgeon. And finally, Chisholm says, you know what, let's get it back to the point guard. Let Cole set it back up and get the offense running here. It's worked thus far. And there we are underneath, Isaiah Cole with the bucket. Davidson with the assist, 8-3, Monroe out to a 5-point lead. Just a little more than 2 minutes into the game.
Spreading it around out there from Monroe with 3 players scoring for them already.
Looking very good tonight thus far. Have yet to be stopped on the offensive side of things. Glacier Peak, Martin once again with the basketball. Still has the only points of the night. Trey Lawrence thought about taking a step into the arch area and kicks it back out. Now he's going to drive on the right side, kicks it out to Corwin for 3. He hits it. Braden Corwin with the bucket.
2 buckets for GP, both at 3s. Give him 6 for tonight.
Makes it 8-6. Monroe out in the lead. 5:02 to go here in the opening period. Monroe in the home white uniforms. Glacier Peak in the dark blue. And we're going to get a travel call. Nice job on defense. Noah Foreman and Trey Lawrence looking both to trap Mr. Kyle. And Kyle picks up his dribble. We're going to get him for traveling.
Good D that time. GP brings the ball down court here.
Glacier Peak with a chance to perhaps tie or even take the lead the way they've been shooting.
Well, let's see if they're going to fire that 3 off again.
Lawrence swings it around.
There, oops, almost.
Corwin thought about it. Nice job by Cole to get the hand up. Now they go from left to right. Lawrence drives baseline, and they're going to call the offensive foul against him. Yep. Isaiah Cole standing his ground and drawing the charge. Trey Lawrence with the 2nd foul of the night called against Glacier Peak, his first.
Trey Lawrence had a 25-point game against Kamiak last week. A lot of that was all layups under the basket, just like he tried to do that time. But
had the right idea, just made a little too much contact. Went for the steal on that play. Chisholm pulls up from 8 feet out, misses it, tries to get back in there to get his own board. I think that's a frustration foul right there. A little bit upset with himself for not getting the basket and flew on in there and made contact with Foreman. And Chisholm will pick up the first Monroe foul of the evening with 4:20 to go in the first. Number 25. Up. Bobby Martin connects on a three. Looked away there briefly, and the three ball went up. I didn't even see who shot it. Bobby Martin with his second three of the night makes it a 9-8 game. Glacier Peak with their first lead of the evening. Colby Kyle looking down low. Saw a cutting Sturgeon. Unfortunately for him, Bobby Martin steps in, knocks it away, steals it. Glacier Peak back down underneath. And drawing the foul is number 25, Noah Foreman, and he will step to the line, looking to expand upon the Glacier Peak lead. Sturgeon getting called for his first foul. Second against Monroe here in the first quarter. Noah Foreman making good on that first one. Foreman, boy, you talk about big nights against Kamiak, that game that you guys did last week. 12 rebounds in the first half, I believe. It's
yeah, right.
A little bit insane there as he misses the second free throw. 10-8 Glacier Peak here early on. A game that will determine who is in first place tonight. Glacier Peak can give themselves a 2-game cushion if they can win this tonight.
Yeah, Monroe's coming out to play like they think they can win this ball game.
Shot is off the mark. Trey Lawrence grabs the rebound, looking to push it ahead to Corwin along the left side. Picks up his dribble, gets it on over to number 25. That's Noah Foreman. Rose. Stingy on defense, not able to get over in time though as number 23 connects. That's Braden Corwin with his second tray of the quarter.
12 of those 13 points are three-pointers.
Yeah, 2 by Corwin, 2 by Martin. 13-8 lead. Glacier Peak with their largest lead of the evening.
Just like we were talking earlier, that three-point makes a difference in how this game goes.
It can change things very quickly and has so far here tonight. Kyle trying to go down low, lost the possession. Unfortunately for Glacier Peak, it goes right into the hands of Spencer Davidson. He spins in towards the basket, gets the layup. He now has 6 points here in the first quarter. 13-10 Glacier Peak with 2:32 to go. Bobby Martin, that's blocked by Kyle. Bobby Martin steps out to attempt what would have been his third three-pointer of the first quarter. The long outstretched arms of 6'7" Colby Kyle stepped up and said, no, I'm not going to give you that one. And
that's about 10'3" he had to shoot over on that one.
Exactly, a huge wingspan there. You can tell a lot of respect for those two players too, as Bobby immediately high-fived Colby after he knocked it out of bounds. Glacier Peak does keep the possession. Now down to 19 on the shot clock. Bobby Martin says I couldn't do it on the right side, perhaps the left, as they continue to swing it around. Lawrence looking to drive, double-teamed. Pulls up his dribble, kicks it back out. Corwin with an open look three. We get a whistle away from the play. And they're going to call an offensive foul against Glacier Peak. Let's see who they're going to call that against.
I think it's Foreman.
Indeed correct. Noah Foreman picking up his second foul here in the first quarter. First player on either team to have multiple fouls.
He's going to get a break here with Evan Manis going to come in and give him a short break here until he settles down.
Yeah, Evan Manis, a guy who could start for most teams, quite frankly, and
has
don't lose. Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, it doesn't. And you don't lose a whole lot. A 6'4" for a 6'4", both juniors. Little catch and pass there between Cole and Chisholm. Finally back in the hands of Cole. We're now down to 18 on the shot clock. Almost baiting Chisholm to shoot that ball. Finally gets it over to Kyle. Kyle just flat out lost it. It might have been batted away initially. A little frustration shown by Colby Kyle. He kicks the ball up into the air and gives it back to Tom Friel, the referee. And now Glacier Peak with under 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter, bringing it up with the 13-10 lead. Martin being guarded closely by Chisholm. Chisholm giving up some inches on that one. Ball's down the right side. Trey Lawrence into the lane, kicks it out to Corwin. Threw it a little too far to his right. Initially, he had an open look shot if he could have brought that one in. Bobby Martin with a hand in his face. He still drains it. Spencer Davidson, you can't play much better defense than that. He was right up in his grill. Martin says, I don't care. I'm going to drain this three, and that's exactly what he did. 9 points in the first quarter for Bobby. Sturgeon on the other end, he misses a three. Bobby Martin grabs the rebound. Glacier Peak looking to push and got the 6-point lead and looking for more. Trey Lawrence reverse, gets it to fall.
That's Trey's first 2 of the night. Look for many more of those to come under the basket like that.
Faked like he was going to go all the way across underneath the basket and finally did a nice little reverse on the same side that he was on, the left side. Gets his first point. Sturgeon once again looking for a 3, misses it one more time. Trey Lawrence pulls down the rebound, and they are not going to waste any time as he pushes it up.
Look at Bobby from downtown.
Misses that 3, was looking for his 4th tray of the quarter. As Sturgeon almost floated that over the head of Isaiah Cole, he's able to bring it in. About a half of a second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. So essentially, if Monroe wants, they can play this out and get the last shot here of the quarter. They trail 18-10 after leading by as many as 5 in that first few minutes of the quarter.
They're going to do just that, looking for that last shot. Probably going to try for a 3 out there.
Kyle with the ball. Lawrence almost steals that one away. Chisholm out to Sturgeon. He's got an open look. In and out. We're down to 2 seconds. Lawrence fires it from 3-quarter court.
Whoa.
Good if it goes, but it does not. And Glacier Peak putting on a clinic from the 3-point line. 5 total. They've got 18 points for the quarter, and they lead by 8 here at Monroe. We're going to take a break. You are watching STSPN.com.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
That was beautiful. Victory, yeah.
And welcome back once again to Monroe High School. The whole crew is here. STSPN in the house for a battle of first place, and so far, looks like Glacier Peak wants just a little bit more than Monroe. They certainly do from outside the arc. 5 3-pointers in the first quarter, and they have an 18-10 lead as we start the second quarter of play with the Grizzlies in possession. Swinging that basketball around. Bobby Martin already with a hot hand tonight. Dishes it off to Evan Manis. Manis kicks it over to Corwin. Corwin looking for more, and he gets it!
Wow. He says, Bobby, if you can make 3 threes, I can make 3 threes.
They are putting on a clinic. They're having a contest right now, quite frankly. Corwin with 3, Martin with 3. That right there is 18 of your 21 points. Trey Lawrence with a bucket, and then Foreman with a free throw, and that is it for the scoring right now. 21-10 is our score. Ball started to head out of bounds. Up ahead, Trey Lawrence, easy layup. Nice job by Bobby Martin. He stole the inbound ball, or the ball that was going out of bounds. Saw Lawrence streaking. They call a timeout. 30-second. We'll take a quick break. You're watching STSPN. Welcome back to Monroe, and a commercial there from IRG. We like to thank those folks at IRG Physical Therapy in Mill Creek.
It's kind of a deja vu for Monroe here. They played against Kamiak. Kamiak came out and hit 10 3-pointers on him, and GP's already got 6.
Yeah, unbelievable. And the way it looked in the first couple minutes, we thought maybe Monroe was going to defend their home turf here tonight, and they still could. It's early, but right now, Glacier Peak in control. Those 3-pointers are starting to add up as Kyle's going to get a little push out of bounds as he tried to go baseline. Evan Manis going to get whistled for the foul, his first.
That's a tough call down there in the baseline because the guy with the ball usually kind of tries to hook his way around and make it past the baseline, and the defense doesn't want to let him go, so he kind of pushes against them, you know, so could go either way sometimes.
I mentioned too, Luis Rubalcalba checking into the game during that last timeout for the first time tonight as we're going to get a tie up. It's going to stay with Monroe as Kyle missed the shot, got his own rebound, and Manis tied him up. Rubalcalba wearing the number 20 for Monroe. He's a senior, 6 foot.
I like that you called that a tie-up or a held ball.
You know, like the jump ball reference? Because they don't jump it anymore.
Not
Colby
the-
Kyle going strong to the basket. Gets that one to fall. He now has 4 on the night.
No, nobody knows what a jump ball is anymore.
That's a very good point. I still tend to use jump ball more often than not, but I made it a point not to that time.
Yep. You were new school.
Bobby Martin this time thinking about it too. Kicks it out. Open look. Off the mark. That was number 20, Fletcher Douglas, looking for his first bucket of the night. The threes coming a lot easier than the twos for Glacier Peak.
Definitely.
Hey, if you've got to make one over the other, why not? You get more points, right? So 23-12 is the score. Rubalcaba over to Colby Kyle. Nice spin move. Goes up for the dunk, and he lands on his back.
Oh, I think he's hurt.
Oh, boy, is he ever. They're going to keep playing on the other end. Lawrence goes up for the layup, and Colby Kyle caught the rim, went down. Oh. Went down horizontally and landed awkwardly in his backside there, and immediately the trainer out to check on him and to see how he's doing.
Yeah. There was
As
actually
his head coach Ben Williams.
actually a foul called on that play.
Grizzly number 5, Trey Lawrence, his second foul, 15.
We are seeing Colby move around a little bit, which is always a good sign.
I think he hit his head pretty hard, so that isn't a good sign. Sounded hard, didn't he?
Header is back. It almost looked more like his. We're going to potentially look at a replay here in a moment. Nope, we got a replay coming up right here as Todd Elvick sets that up. Kyle now sitting up and standing, which is a good sign. Everybody's starting to cheer. Still trying to get that replay. Or maybe not.
Or maybe not. At least it's good to see Colby up walking around.
He's walking off a little bit gingerly. Brian Hunter, the coach for Glacier Peak, going over and shaking his hand, and we will keep you posted on that as we find out more information. Certainly was a good sign going off anyway, but I've got to think that regardless, he's going to be sore either way, and maybe more so tomorrow than tonight.
He's definitely going to be sore. 6 minutes to go in this second period. He's going into the locker room. There's probably a good chance we won't see him until the second half, and let's hope we do see him in the third period.
Absolutely, no, for various reasons, one of which we want to see a great game tonight, but Colby, great young man, and we want to wish him all the best and get him back out here. And I know he wants to play in this game tonight, so we'll see if we can get him back on the floor here at some point. Meanwhile, we're back to playing basketball. Ball is batted out of bounds. 19 seconds left on the shot clock. Looking at Monroe right now, you've got Chisholm playing up on top. Sturgeon's going to throw it in, wearing the number 35. Rubalcaba, Davidson, and then you've got Blake Fodge, who came in, the 6'3" sophomore, who came in at the time for the injured Kyle. We'll see how he does in his place.
And we got Bo Burns in there for the Grizzlies that just knocked that last ball out of bounds a while ago.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. Chisholm needs to do something quickly. They look a little bit lost right now. Sturgeon, recognizing that he's running out of time, takes a step, fires it up, but they're going to say shot clock violation. Turn him over back to Glacier Peak. And there's the replay we're showing right now. It looked like he almost landed on his tailbone, didn't it?
Well, that's better than landing on his head.
Absolutely. No, you don't want to do either one. But when you're 6'8", 6'7", and that's a long way to the ground, Ron. So we, again, wishing Colby the best and hoping to see him back out here soon. They've got a game tomorrow night against Cascade too, so not a lot of time to rest for these guys after this game. An unusual Thursday schedule this week. Bobby Martin for yet another 3. Bobby Martin in fuego. 4 threes tonight. It is now 26-12.
And it's Braden Corwin's turn to shoot next.
You're right. We're going to see if you can match that one, or else you're going to have H in the game of horse. We'll take another quick break. 26-12 is our score. You're watching STSPN.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Our Mitsubishi electric cooling and heating system allows you to control the temperature in each room separately, all of which can be controlled from your smartphone or tablet. And because we are the mini split experts here in Washington, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electrical today or visit us at gsheating.com.
And thanks again to the folks at GS Heating, Cooling, Electrical. Speaking of heating, the basket on the Glacier Peak side of things, that net is on fire right now thanks to 7 3-pointers from Glacier Peak. Speaking of the game of horse there, Taylor Sturgeon looking for the trick shot over the backboard from the opposite side. Couldn't get that one to go. Hits the pole, holding up the basket. That's going to be a turnover to Glacier Peak. Grizzlies already with a 14-point lead and looking for more here. 4:32 to go here in the second quarter. Martin down low, gets the pass to Manis. Count the basket and the foul. Glacier Peak liking to do everything by threes tonight. Now they're going to get a chance to do it the old-fashioned way. That was a 2 and a free throw attempt.
That was a real strong move to the basket, too, by Evan. I like it when you get the ball turning, go up and put it in.
Rubalcaba drawing the foul, his first. And Manis, in fact, does convert the play, his first points of the night. Yeah, I wasn't sure initially if they were going to say that was before the shot or not, but they, in fact, gave it to him. And Bobby Martin getting it done with the shots and also a couple of really nice passes here in the second quarter. You saw the throw ahead to Trey Lawrence, who was streaking down the floor on a steal. Yeah, this time he finds Manis in the lane and gets a 3-point play. So really Bobby Martin having a stellar night. No big surprise there. We've seen that many times. Rubalcaba with the 3, and he connects. Luis with his first bucket of the night, making it a 29-15 game. Steal by Davidson, perhaps. Manis doing a nice job of sliding along the floor. Knocks it out of bounds, so Monroe will, in fact, have the basketball. But if Manis hadn't been there on the hustle, I think Davidson would have picked that ball up and had an easy layup. So at least he's going to have to earn it now.
I'm going to give him a turnover anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. It does go there one way or the other. And for Monroe, down by 14. Could use a little momentum. You just hit a 3 a moment ago.
At the timeout.
Ben Williams does not like what he saw. I think we're going to get a full timeout here. I'm pretty sure he's out of his 30s now, isn't he? No, apparently that, in fact, is going to be his last 30. We'll take a quick break. 3:41 to go in the second quarter. You're watching STSPN.com.
Your dreams evolve, and with committed support.
And welcome back to Monroe High School. 3:41 to go here in the second quarter. Glacier Peak with the 29-15 lead as Isaiah Cole will check back into the game for Monroe, and Efton Chisholm, the sophomore, will take a spot on the bench. See how long they keep him out. He's been playing quite a bit here tonight, yet to score a point. Cole with only 2 thus far. Monroe, again, trying to get back in this game. They did get the 3 ball from Rubalcaba just a few moments ago. And apparently Tom Friel saying, no, you didn't check in quite correctly. So they're going to make Chisholm come back in off the bench. And Isaiah Cole apparently will have to wait until the next dead ball.
Yep, you can't come in after a quarter change like that or a timeout change like that.
So Isaiah kneeling in front of the scores table. He will no doubt come in here momentarily. Rubalcaba thought about the 3, got Martin up in the air, dishes it over to Sturgeon. He throws up another tray, misses it. Manis doing a nice job to wrestle that one away. Glacier Peak cutting it back down. There's number 13, Bo Burns, picked off, and number 20, Rubalcaba, forcing the turnover. Monroe right back to the other end of the floor. Davidson driving baseline, makes contact. What are they going to call? Apparently they're going to call an offensive foul.
Yep.
I was watching Friel's hand. I thought he was motioning that it was a free throw attempt, but he was in fact saying it was a charge.
I thought it was from up here anyway.
No, I think he got the right call.
Yeah, I think so.
Davidson with his first foul of the game. 4 team fouls now on Monroe in the first half. Burns was trying that same thing as they did a moment ago. Rubalcaba almost baiting them and waiting on it. As soon as that ball went through the air, he jumped in front of it. It was just a little bit too high, so he wasn't able to pick it off, but did knock it out of bounds, and Glacier Peak will inbound with 25 to go on the shot clock.
GP was doing pretty good with turnovers there early on.
Bobby Martin, guess what? No, not going to make one. He is human. Nice to know as Isaiah Cole looking to push ahead. Martin stepping in front of him nicely. Cole dribbling it over to the right side. Glacier Peak in the zone. Down to 18 on the shot clock. Cole trips, falls. What are they going to call? Going to say he was pushed.
Yeah.
The foul on Glacier Peak. Number 30, Bobby Martin, his first foul.
Bobby Martin picking up his first foul. 6 now on Glacier Peak. One more will put Monroe into the bonus. A steal. Bo Burns getting his hands on it, knocking away. Kicking it ahead to Corwin. Manis over to Martin. Double team now. Bobby's starting to gain a little more respect there. Nice
sweet
pass. Bo Burns looking down low. Finds a wide open Fletcher Douglas. 2 points. The no-look hard pass into the lane. Give Bo Burns a lot of credit there as Douglas picking up his first bucket of the night. Davidson looking for a layup on the other end. Couldn't get the roller to go.
Out of bounds.
So we're going to keep it right here with 2 minutes to go now in the first half. 31-15, Glacier Peak.
Good thing he was out of bounds when he threw it back into Monroe.
Yeah, it might have been an easy bucket there if not. Kaba looking into the lane. Davidson now trying to play the role of Colby Kyle. Misses yet another easy bucket. Gets his own board and puts it in. Spencer Davidson now with 8 points on the evening. His first points of the second quarter as we're now down under the 145 mark.
GP gone a little cold here in the last couple of minutes.
Bobby Martin swings it to Burns. Burns open look 3. We get a whistle. Is that going to be a 3? It is. I think we're going to get Isaiah Cole on the shot, fouling Burns, which will put Burns at the line for 3 free throws.
Now this is really the hard way to get 3 points.
Yeah, no kidding.
At the line for 3, Bo Burns.
See if they can keep with the theme, though, and hit all 3 of these. Burns, nope, we're not even going to get through the first one and know that that's not going to happen as he misses the first free throw attempt. This is the second one. Glacier Peak 2 for 5 tonight from the free throw line.
That's about their average. They're a 58, 55% free throw shooting team.
Well, if they're going to get around there, he needs to hit this one here. We'll see what happens here. Monroe yet to shoot a free throw tonight. He does hit the final of the 3 attempts, making it a 32-17 game.
Got to keep that average in there.
Try to get an update on Colby here at the half as we just saw his. Oh, he comes out. There we go. He's
back on the court.
Ice on his wrist there as Isaiah Cole puts up a shot. Yeah, I saw his mom and dad, Tate and Wendy, come back out from being down to check on him. And then Colby just walked out. It looks like he has an ice pack on one of his hands. We'll try to get more information on that. Now down to 1:10 to go here in the first half. Count. No, they're going to say offensive charge.
Whoa. I'm not sure I'm buying into that one, but.
Rubal Kaba stood his ground, and they're going to say number 24, Evan Manis, did in fact foul him. That is the second foul on Manis. 7th foul against Glacier Peak. It is a player control foul, so no free throw attempts.
Almost a steal over there by Manis.
59.8 seconds remaining in the half. 27 on the shot clock. Isaiah Cole in the corner. Got a good chunk of iron there. He wasn't able to get it to fall down. Bobby Martin comes away with it, and he pushes forward as Glacier Peak with a 19-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Martin slowing things down just a bit as Manis has it out on top. Number 23 is going against each other momentarily, and we're going to get a lot of pushing in the key, and the refs are going to blow the whistle. Manis and Cole both with a lot of contact with one another. Let's see what they call here. Apparently it's going to be on Cole.
Yeah, I think you're right.
The foul on Bearcat, number 23, Isaiah Cole, his second foul.
Isaiah's second foul of the night, 6th team foul, so they're 1 away from putting GP into the bonus. That sets the 35 clock back over again with 38 to go in the half, so certainly Glacier Peak could take this one down to the 3-second mark if they want. They can even go lower now as number 25 with the push. That's Blake Fodge with a hand check, and that's going to put Corwin at the line shooting 1-1.
Just like that, they pick up that penalty foul.
Fodge's first foul. Both teams now with 7.
At the line, Braden Corwin. Checking in, number 10, Braden Quaintrell.
Braden Quintrell, the 6-foot sophomore who's on the junior varsity roster. When you look at the official roster, he's going to check in for the first time tonight.
Going to get his 32 seconds of fame here.
Hey, why not? First free throw attempt is up and good. Corwin now with 10 points tonight. First 9 coming all courtesy of the three-point shot. It's the second one as well. Glacier Peak once again doubling up Monroe. 34-17 is our score. Shot clock is turned off for the rest of the half. Sturgeon out on top, gets it back over to Cole. Let's see how much of a rush they're in to put something up. Monroe hoping to perhaps score at least the last 2 or 3 points here. Take a little bit of momentum back into the locker room, and that's not going to do it. That's a travel. Rubalcaba shuffled the feet a little bit before he decided to drive into the lane, and with 8.5 seconds to go here in the period, Glacier Peak will inbound the basketball in backcourt, already with a 17-point lead, and they can expand upon that even a little more here as they are apparently going to put up the final shot. Bobby Martin, straight on look from 3 off the back iron. Ball bounces around, a collision. Davidson throws it up, but it is too late, and we've come to the end of the first half. Glacier Peak in control. 34-17 is our score. Going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about some of the statistics and what's going on in the first half. Also going to talk with Cameron Van Til from the Everett Herald, who's covering the game here tonight, and get his perspective and see what else he's been up to lately. He's been at 2 or 3 basketball games a week for the last month or so, and we'll talk to him about what he's been doing. So we're going to take a quick break right now. When we come back, we'll get you all caught up on what's happened here in the first half. You're watching STSPN.com. There we go. Speak to us and see if we can hear you. Test 1, 2. And welcome back, Monroe High School. It is 34-17. It is all Glacier Peak in the first half, and joining us right now from the Everett Herald, making his halftime debut, I understand, Cameron Van Til. Cam, I should ask you first and foremost, you've been covering a lot of these Wesco 4A games so far this year. Any surprises here in the first half? We know Glacier Peak's tough. They proved it against Kamiak the other night, and apparently Monroe's finding out the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's really Glacier Peak. I mean, their defense has been the staple for so long under Brian Hunter, and obviously that's the case again tonight, holding them to 17 points. Yeah, obviously part of that's been affected by Colby Kyle missing the final 6 minutes there at the second quarter, but yeah, just another tremendous performance by Glacier Peak's defense so far. And
we'll still try to get an update on Colby Kyle before the third quarter starts. Hey, you've been all over the place lately. I know you had a big Wesco 4A or 3A game last night for first place, so back-to-back nights with the division lead on the line. Tell me a little bit about Marysville-Pilchuck versus Shorecrest.
Yeah, that was a really entertaining game. Probably one of the best high school basketball games I've covered in my short career so far. It was Shorecrest won 82-79, but both teams played just tremendously. I mean, it was back and forth, bucket after bucket. I was frantically trying to keep up with with all the points that were being scored, scribbling in my notebook. I mean, there was a couple times where there were probably 4 or 5 baskets within a minute almost. I mean, it was just a really entertaining game, and yeah, in the end, Shorecrest held on.
They don't make these score sheets big enough to hold 82 points, do they?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you got a 32-minute game, you'd think you wouldn't get that high, right? It's a lot of fun to watch for the fans, that's for sure. I'm going to put you on the spot right now. So Shorecrest and Marysville-Pilchuck, potentially the top 2 teams in the league, they could face off again in the districts. I'm going to do the old, if those 2 teams played 10 times, how close would it be to 5-5, or is that about where you'd predict?
I think it'd be pretty darn close. I mean, it was Marysville-Pilchuck hit a lot of threes last night, 11 threes. So you think, okay, maybe they don't hit as many again. And Philip Peppel for Shorecrest is a real tough force to deal with. They're 6'9" forward, but I'd give maybe Shorecrest a slight edge just because of Peppel.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those things, but they probably each win five times apiece.
And tell us a little bit about what else you've been covering lately. Obviously, girls basketball, a lot of our folks that are watching right now that are Glacier Peak fans, they watched that team go to the state tournament last year and runner-up in the state championship game. What have you seen thus far out of Wesco 4A? Lake Stevens apparently the team to beat right now, correct?
Yeah, I saw Lake Stevens earlier this year, and they were really impressive. Kylie Griffin was just tremendous in that game. I think had something around 30 points, 15 rebounds or something like that, and
that's almost an off night for her.
Yeah, I mean that's just that's just a typical night for her. I mean she was really impressive. I mean she's going to Gonzaga for a reason, and she's definitely shown it so far.
As far as things you've been covering this year, I know you've been on the beat now for this is your second year, so you certainly have covered your share of football games, basketball, other sports. Give me one or two highlights for your early tenure at the Everett Herald, and what have you maybe enjoed the most, or do you have a favorite story thus far? Or
ooh, man, that's tough.
That's a loaded question.
Put me on the spot.
Give me a couple anyway. Just maybe we won't call them your favorites, but some of your favorites anyway.
Yeah, I'm trying to think back.
One was getting a job, right?
Yeah, definitely. That'd probably be the highlight. Yeah,
Good call.
It's been a lot of fun. I mean, there's a lot of really fun teams and athletes and coaches to work with here. I love covering football and basketball. Those are probably my 2 favorite to cover, and baseball and softball as well. Trying to think back. I mean, so many games. It's hard. They kind of all blur together sometimes. But I tell you what, the Pilchuck Shorecrest game last night was one of the best. One of the best I've covered. Really well played on both sides.
And now I know from talking to other prep writers in the past, they always kind of like this time of year because they go from sitting out in the cold in those November nights where we're still in playoff football mode, but it's like 30 degrees out, and then you get to come inside a nice warm gym. Are you kind of in that same boat? Were you kind of ready for the season to be over when it was?
A little. I love football, so I really enjoyed covering it. But it is nice when you don't have to make the long walk up to the press box and hang around after the game for interviews when it's 30 degrees. It's nice being in a gym for all that. So definitely nice.
So any features coming up for you in the near future? What should we be looking for in the Everett Herald?
Yeah, there's actually I'll have a feature I think in a few days on a Meadowdale. This is a pretty interesting story. A player on their freshman team, girls basketball freshman team, who battles some vision impairment, and it's kind of how she's overcome this big obstacle in order to be successful in basketball. She's one of the freshman team's leading scorers, despite numerous surgeries and this vision impairment that she has.
Good for you. And those feature stories, those are always the ones that I enjoy reading the most anyway, just to learn a little more about these young student athletes and obstacles they're able to overcome, or the way that in some cases they're able to balance school and athletics. And it's I've got to think that you enjoy that element of the job as well.
Definitely. Those are definitely some of the most fun stories to do, where you it's inspiring meeting some of these kids and seeing what they've overcome. And as one of the Meadowdale coaches that I interviewed yesterday for this story, I mean, she was talking about how it inspires her and how it she looks at it and she's like, maybe there's things in my life that I've been put on the back burner that, hey, I don't have an excuse. I don't have a reason not to do these things. And so I think those types of stories are inspiring for everyone, I think.
Okay, well, again, hey, Cameron, I appreciate you being on. Cameron Van Til, they can follow you, heraldnet.com, pick up the paper, right? And how do they follow you on social media?
At Cameron Van Til.
Okay, we're going to take a 30-second break. Then when we come back, we might have another quick interview here. So we'll get a Colby Kyle update while we're gone. Don't go anywhere. Again, we are at halftime here at Monroe High School. You're watching STSPN.com.
but he's minor.
And welcome back once again. Gorgeous shots courtesy of Todd Elvick. Shots that took place over the summer. That is Monroe High School right there. And you can, if we had the telestrator where we could actually circle and write things on it like they do in the big leagues, we could circle the gym there. But it's there somewhere. That is where we are right now, inside at Monroe High School, about to start the second half. Glacier Peak versus Monroe. Peak up 34-17 at the half. And during the break, we had a chance to speak with Tate Kyle, the father of Colby, giving us a little bit of an update really quick and reporting to us that it is a left wrist injury that's keeping him out. He's icing it right now, and they'll probably kind of monitor that tonight and maybe look into it a little bit more tomorrow. So don't want to speculate anymore other than to say it's a left wrist injury, and he's also a little bit sore in his backside there as well as he took a tumble. But
well, he hit the floor pretty hard.
He did. So the left wrist is the biggest concern right now, and they will be checking that. Certainly, hey, this is one game out of 20 that they play this year. You've got districts coming up. You'd like to think you might even go further than that. It's a 17-point game. You've got to use precaution. Tate did joke with us just now. He's like, hey, he's right-handed. If it's his left wrist, we want him to play. But obviously, as his father, he was joking and doesn't want him in there right now, and rightfully so. But
definitely
good to hear that update. We appreciate Tate for coming by here and telling us a little bit about what was going on there. So a Monroe family. Tate also an athlete here at Monroe back in the day. Bobby Martin in the corner. Guess who?
Starts it off again.
Bobby Martin with his 5th three-pointer of the night. All of his points coming via the tray. He now has 15 on the evening.
12 in the first half, 3 in this half so far.
If you have kids at home, young kids, and you want to teach them multiplication tables by 3, have them watch the rest of this game and just watch number 30. We'll see what he can get up to. Down low, that's Davidson underneath the basket. Nice job on the defensive side of things. Putting his hand straight up in the air. That was number 20, Fletcher Douglas. And down on the other end, nope, they're going to say he traveled.
Yeah. I think that was a good call. Too bad he lost the handle on the ball there. Otherwise, he'd have been home free.
I should point out, too, this is the largest lead of the night for GP. They are now up 37-17.
Wow. 23. Cole for 3.
Happened so quickly, I was still looking at my score sheet, didn't even see it go up. So Isaiah Cole, nice job with the tray. Bobby Martin says, if you can do it, so can I. Bobby, 6 threes on the night, 40-20. Once again, doubling up Monroe. Was hot in the first half, continuing it here into the third quarter as Isaiah Cole thought about that one momentarily. I thought maybe we were going to have a tray contest here, but Cole decides to go underneath instead. Kicks it out along that left baseline. Blake Fodge getting his first points of the evening. It's a 2. It makes it 40-22.
Oh.
In the lane, going up and getting it blocked. They're going to whistle the play dead, however, as it is a shooting foul. It's 125 to the other. Blake Fodge going up, making the foul as Foreman will head to the line for 2.
The foul on number 25, Blake Fodge, his second foul.
2 fouls now on Fodge tonight. Foreman, the chairman of the boards, is the STSPN counterparts.
And he is.
Scott Oshman and Tim Boyle like to refer to him. Stealing a line from Moses Malone, and Foreman hits both of those 2 free throws.
He's got a 3-pointer now.
Yeah, definitely doing it the old-fashioned way. 3 free throws, 3 for 4 at the line tonight. That's all of his points. 42-22. Monroe trying to get back in this game and doing so without their top player, Isaiah. Or rather, that was not Isaiah Cole. That was Spencer Davidson along the baseline.
It's going to go against Fletcher Douglas, I think. I think I'm right.
The foul on Grizzly, number 20, Fletcher Douglas, his first foul.
You are correct. Douglas with his first foul, and that will send Spencer Davidson to the line shooting 2. If you're tuning in late, Isaiah Cole back in the early second quarter going up for a dunk. Got up to the rim and then got rejected by the rim, and unfortunately for him ended up landing horizontally. A hard fall onto the ground. Injured left wrist. He's icing it along the bench right now, so he is out for the remainder of the game.
Spencer Davidson with 8 points in the first half sinks his first free throw. Looked the second one up there off the front of the rim and no good.
Trying to get into double digits and couldn't do it, and we're going to get yet another quick whistle as Tom Friel right there along the baseline. Nothing gets by him. He's been at this for a while. He's in the Washington Officials Association Hall of Fame. And Fodge is going to pick up his 3rd foul of the night. Already the 2nd foul of the half against the Bearcats, both on Fodge.
Monroe coming out with a full court press here, see if they can slow things down.
Slow things down or perhaps get a turnover. They need them right now. They need possessions desperately as they're continuing to trail here by 19 points. 5:30 to go, 3rd quarter.
Oh.
Nice pass down low, easy bucket. Fletcher Douglas getting the points, but Noah Foreman setting it up with a beautiful pass. Makes it 44-23.
Oh, that's
a lot of contact. What are we going to call? They're going to say.
They're going to
the
call
feet
that.
We're moving. They are going to, in fact, call that on number 25, Foreman.
That's going to be 3 on him, I think. I don't know if I like that call either.
Grizzly number 25, Noah Foreman, his 3rd foul, 2nd team foul.
That will, in fact, put Sturgeon at the line for 2.
Sturgeon going to try to make his first points tonight.
Certainly not for a lack of trying. He's missed a handful of shots.
Sturgeon, one more try.
Does get the first free throw. So Monroe, who did not have a free throw attempt in the entire first half, already at the line for the 2nd time here in the first 3 minutes, and he connects on both of his free throws, making it a 44-25 game. Glacier Peak taking their time right now, and why wouldn't they? They've got the 19-point lead. Lawrence with the basketball. Foreman, Martin, Douglas, all out on the floor with him, and we're going to get an offensive foul called against Glacier Peak. Who are they going to get this one on?
Maybe Corwin. Nope.
Well, this one's going to be on Douglas.
Grizzly number 20, Fletcher Douglas, his 2nd.
That's a blocking foul over there on the screen.
3rd team foul against GP already. We're only 3 minutes in.
That puts GP up to 6 turnovers for tonight for that kind of stuff.
Davidson into the lane, floats one up, high off the backboard, misses it. Martin grabs the rebound, kicks it ahead beautifully to Lawrence. Lawrence goes up, draws contact. Sturgeon is going to put Lawrence at the line for 2. And once again, Bobby Martin looking for that outlet pass, and really not too many people in Wesco do it better than number 30.
I'm surprised that Trey didn't actually make that one. He had the height on him.
At the line, Trey Lawrence for 2 attempts.
Sturgeon gets his 2nd foul called against him tonight. Lawrence stepping to the charity stripe for the first time this evening, hits the first free throw.
And rattles and rolls. Trey's going to have to go a little bit to make his 25-point average of the last game.
Yeah, I think he's probably not going to get there, but you know what? The W is the W. He'll take it.
Any way he can. He's doing his job out there tonight.
Noah Foreman, the chairman, is going to take a seat on the bench. Looks as though Manis checked back in for him. Trying to post up Davidson down low. They had the right idea. Unfortunately, Davidson not ready for it. That was Fodge looking to go in inside, through the bounce pass, threw it away. Corwin able to come away with it. Bobby Martin bounces around. Bobby Martin once again misses a 3-pointer. Doesn't do that very often. Manis there for the offensive board, and now he will step to the line.
We got 23. That's Cole.
Isaiah Cole, his 3rd foul, 4th team foul.
Both of these teams with 7 fouls apiece in the first half. So far we've got 7 total here called in the first 3.5 minutes of the second half. Manis hits the first free throw. Chisholm checking back in for Monroe. And there is the second free throw. Manis now with 5 points on the night. 48-25 score.
4:20 left to go in this 3rd period here.
Monroe in jeopardy right now of losing their 2nd conference game of the season. Isaiah Cole shooting him back into it. Cole now with another 3-ball. Give him 8 points for the night. 28-48 is our score. Kicking it ahead. Martin finding a cutting Fletcher Douglas once again. Saw that combination work about a minute ago, and it works once again here. They get another bucket. Wasting very little time on the other side of the floor. Spencer Davidson drives down the left side and puts one up and in.
Look at this free one. There's Oh, put it up
Manis
again.
misses the shot, goes up. Isaiah Cole strips him, though.
Manis should have
Nice
made
job
it
by
easy.
number 23. Kicks it ahead to Chisholm.
This is rat ball. They're running.
Chisholm over to Davidson in the corner. Left it just a little bit short. Caught the front of the iron. It bounces down. Manis is able to grab it.
That was an exciting time period there.
Yeah, we get a little bit of hustle and running and transition basketball here. You don't normally get a lot of that in a 20-point game, but Glacier Peak trying to play their game, doing a very nice job of cleaning up the board. That's Fletcher Douglas with his third field goal of the third quarter. He now has 8 points on the night. And Coach Ben Williams decides he needs a timeout, a full timeout. We'll take a break. 3:09 to go, third quarter. You're watching STSPN.com.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Our Mitsubishi electric cooling and heating system allows you to control the temperature in each room separately, all of which can be controlled from your smartphone or tablet. And because we are the mini split experts here in Washington, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electrical today or visit us at gsheating.com.
And welcome back once again from Monroe High School. Steve Willits, Ron Henthorn, Todd Elvick, Sarah Elvick, all here in attendance tonight as the Glacier Peak Grizzlies appear to be on their way to a 6-0 mark in league play. They are up ahead 52-30 right now. Spencer Davidson floats up an air ball. Bobby Martin grabbing the rebound down. Swings on over to Braden Corwin, who will slowly bring the basketball up here. Martin getting the ball over to Fletcher Douglas, back to Bobby. Glacier Peak using as much of that 35-second clock as they can right now. 9 seconds to go here on the shot clock. Glacier Peak team that has put up a lot of quick shots tonight. This time they use up the entire clock. There to clean it up is Douglas. He misses the shot. Ball bounces around on the ground, right back into the hands of Douglas, who's waiting for it. And Fletcher Douglas continuing to be a hot hand here in the third quarter. He now has 8 of his 10 points, making it 54-30. 2:09 to go in the quarter, and Chisholm travels, shuffled those feet. Nice job on the defensive side for Douglas, as he was right in front of Chisholm, forced him to take a couple of steps before he put the ball on the ground. So he gets it down on the offensive side and the defensive side of the court, and gets his team back another possession, already with a 24-point lead and looking for more. Sophomore versus sophomore.
Bobby for 3.
Misses another one there, finally able to come away with it. That is number 20, Robocaba. Cole underhanded underneath Manis, lays it up and in. Isaiah now with 10 points on the night, 54-32.
That's a nice move by Cole. I haven't seen him go into the hoop at all tonight.
Yeah, he knew he was giving up a little size there. Manis had his hands up, extended in the air. Nice back door there. Martin finding a cutting Manis to the basket. Manis getting fouled by Isaiah Cole, and he will step to the line for a pair of free throw attempts.
A foul on Bearcat, number 23, Isaiah Cole, his 4th foul.
That's his 4th foul. Not looking too good for him.
For 2, Evan Manis.
Manis will step to the line, shooting 2. Misses the first one, his first missed free throw attempt of the night. He's now 3 for 4. Gets the second one to fall. 55-32. Kind of fun looking around the gym here tonight, too, with so much going on in terms of, again, most boys varsity basketball games are on Tuesday nights. Cole pulls up from 17 feet out. Nothing but the bottom of the net. Nice job by Isaiah, 55-34. A lot of teams with off nights tonight, and after practice, no doubt wanting to catch a basketball game and coming out here to watch a handful of these players. We Already seen Barry Gould, the head coach for Marysville Pilchuck, along with his son Josiah Gould, having fantastic seasons for the Tomahawks, and we're going to get yet another foul called, and number 20, Fletcher Douglas, will step to the line for 2 more shot attempts. Also looking across the way, we see Kyrie Armstead from the Mount Lake Terrace Hawks sitting in the front row right over by the far corner of the court, right across from where the free throws are being shot. You can actually see him directly behind Spencer Davidson over there wearing the ball cap. Can't tell who a few of those other guys are. I'm guessing maybe North City teammates, as the AAU team that a lot of these guys play for. Always out supporting one another when they're not playing. First free throw attempt was missed by Fletcher Douglas. Second one is up and good.
54 seconds left to go in this third period here.
The clock is winding down. 56-34. Glacier Peak in command right now. Braden Corwin doing a nice job of getting a hand on that pass. Not able to come up with it, but it was able to knock it out of bounds and force Monroe to inbound once again. To get Todd Elvick on here shortly and get a little update as to some of the games coming up on STSPN. I know a full schedule coming up here the rest of the month, and I'm sure more to come into February as we start to get into district play. Trey Lawrence steps out and draws contact, or makes contact rather. And
unfortunately, that's going to be Trey's third foul, which is not a good thing. That was not a good foul even.
That's the bad news. The good news is you're up by 22, so they're probably not sweating it too much yet. But you're right. It's definitely putting him up into an area, and he needs to kind of monitor those a little bit. It's the 4th foul against Glacier Peak in the third quarter. Isaiah Cole in the corner. A little bit flat off the back iron. Bobby Martin grabs the rebound. Corwin kicks it ahead to Douglas. Douglas goes up. A lot of contact. And they're going to say that was a charge.
That's going to go in Douglas, his third foul.
Rubel Kaba standing his ground and drawing the contact and forcing Fletcher to come flying into him.
Could have been an easy assist if he'd have given it up. No foul. It would have been 2 points instead of a foul.
Isaiah Cole letting that ball dribble a little bit, wanting to save a little bit of the clock. Perhaps the final shot of the third quarter coming up. We're now down under 10 seconds.
Not now.
Ball goes off of his foot. Martin almost saves it, touches it, and they're going to keep it right here. And not the pass they were wanting there, is Russell Cochran into the game for the first time tonight for Monroe. Threw a cross-court pass over to Cole, went off of his foot, started to trickle towards the out-of-bounds line, and Martin, realizing that nobody was over there, going to try to pick it up. And Isaiah Cole, heading towards the ground, flipped it up towards the basket, gets it to go. Cole unofficially with 9 points here in the quarter, 14 on the night. They're going to give him the bucket. 56-36 is our score. We're heading towards the fourth quarter. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're watching STSPN.com.
When you shop at Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens, you not only find what you need, we make sure you get the help you need too. Hi, this is Gray Eaglestead, and I own Lake Stevens Ace Hardware with my wife, Christine.
We'll greet you at the door and answer any questions you have about what you need. We're all about serving our customers and our community.
We support local high school sports and many other Lake Stevens organizations and events throughout the year.
So the next time you need something for that job around the house and a little friendly advice, come see us.
Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens. We are the helpful hardware folks.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folks.
And welcome back once again to Monroe High School. We head into the fourth quarter of play. Steve Willits, Ron Henthorn, Todd Elvick, Sarah Elvick. We've got 8 more minutes of basketball, but we've got a lot more coverage coming up all throughout the month.
This is canceled tomorrow night.
Okay, we just found out as Todd Elvick is giving me a little information. No basketball game tomorrow night. Originally, we were going to have a Glacier Peak versus Mariner girls basketball game. So the next broadcast, Jackson High School. And Ron, apparently you're doing the play-by-play on this one.
Yep.
Jackson versus Kamiak. That's going to be a very good game, too.
That's a girls' game.
A girls' game, 2 evenly matched teams. I believe that they, if I remember correctly, I think they might have been the teams that played. No, that was Mariner, I was going to say. But, yeah, Jackson, a very good team. We know about Olivia Skibble. We've seen her a couple times. Kamiak with a nice guard tandem is Hunter Byrne, one of their better players. And I know they've got Gallagher, another player that's tough. That's going to be a fun game to watch on Friday night as Davidson connects on the basket, unofficially with 13 points on the night. All of a sudden, Monroe on a little bit of a run as Cole ended the third quarter with a hoop. Now with a quick one here for Monroe. They are now within 18 points and maybe looking for more. Almost got the steal. were able to get their hand on that one. Possession did not turn over, so Glacier Peak now down to 10 on the shot clock. Nice runner, Trey Lawrence, running towards the baseline on the right side, floated one up over the extended hands of the defender, gets it to fall. He now has 8 points on the night.
Oh.
Scramble for the basketball.
Going to be a foul against the Monroe Bearcats.
Afton Chisholm's showing some class there and goes and picks up Bobby Martin after knocking him down. Chisholm, a phenomenal athlete. We had a chance to watch him a lot this year on the football field. A outstanding wide receiver, only a sophomore, and he's just getting started. His best days are ahead of him. Near 1,000 yards of receiving this year.
1,000 yards.
Close to 1,000 yards receiving, and he was only a sophomore, and he looks every bit the part when he's out there on the field.
See a lot of him next year then for sure.
So, yeah, definitely. As he helped the Bearcats get to their highest finish in the state tournament ever in football as Martin connects on the first free throw. The first non-three-pointer of the game for Martin right there.
A lot of pushing and shoving on that basket. Ended up with Russell Cochran laying on his back down there. No call on anything.
No call. They all get up, and they're going to do it all over again right here, as that was a one-and-one situation. Bobby getting that one to rattle around and fall. He now has 20 on the night. I'm curious to see how much more of him we see anyway with a 22-point lead. 7:08 to go. At some point later on this evening, we will have our Speedway Chevrolet Player of the Game, so even if you decide to tune out for a few minutes, as Spencer Davidson continuing to fight hard, gets another basket, making it a 60-40 game. Even if you decide to tune out for a few minutes, you need to come back at the end of the game. Those are always fun interviews, and we'll be giving away a T-shirt and getting the perspective of one of the players. Oh, sweatshirt even, okay. Sweatshirt tonight.
It's a cold night, we got sweatshirts?
Yeah, no kidding, right? I guess if the temperature drops to a certain point, Todd Elvik steps up his game and goes for the high-quality gear. And Todd Elvik never splurging on the any kind of shirt. Bobby Martin with another three. Caught the inside of the iron and popped back out. He was looking for his 7th tray of the night. Spencer Davidson right back on the other end. He has 6 points here in the quarter, 15 on the night, trying to keep his team in it. Again, they are without Colby Kyle, who went down with an injury early second quarter. And Davidson certainly trying to pick up some of that slack, and he's done so very nicely here in the fourth.
Definitely has.
Manis into the lane. Might have been partially blocked. It's number 24, Cochran, getting a hand on it. Cole on the other end. Little shimmy step. Puts it up there. Hits the back bottom of the iron as he...
Yeah, he kind of lost the handle on his dribble through there, so he didn't have much to shoot with when he got in there.
A little bit erratic, and he lost control and tried to save it at the last second and just flipped it up, and he caught the bottom end of the iron. Glacier Peak coming away with the basketball here. Bobby Martin very wisely says, you know what, we're in no, oh, perhaps he is in a rush. Kind of fooled everybody, slowed down his dribble and found a little opening and just went for it. And
hit the floor hard.
Hit the floor, is going to go to the line for two, and a nice job by Spencer Davidson to go check in on him and make sure that he's okay. And Davidson in the process will pick up his second foul. Let's see if we can get that, try to get that schedule up here again in a minute too, so we can get you the next boys game that's coming up down the road. Bobby Martin at the line. You guys have schedules all over the place. I like a paper schedule handed to me by Ron, and then Todd pulls it up on his computer.
Did he make that?
He did, in fact. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll give you a little update on the schedule and talk about what's to come here in the month of January, because a lot of action taking place as we start to head towards the second half of the season. So much going on. You don't want to miss anything all season long right here on STSPN.com.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Tournaments. Yeah. And welcome back once again to Monroe High School. We continue to look around the gym. You keep seeing different people. Steve Johnson from Jackson High School just walking out. He's tends to scout a lot of these games. Speaking of Jackson High School, I want to give it another plug. The girls team playing on STSPN Friday night, home game for the Timberwolves against Kamiak. Ron Henthorn will be on the call. Saturday, Snohomish versus Cedar Crest in a non-conference game. Tall Tom Lafferty will be doing that game. 7:15 start time from Snohomish High School. And heading into next week, a few more games coming up. I know we've got Lake Stevens Kamiak on Tuesday, then a couple girls games featuring the Glacier Peak ladies at home as Bobby Martin misses the free throw, yet gets out and gets his own board. GP versus Cascade and GP versus Lake Stevens. Ooh, that's a big game coming up. Lake Stevens undefeated in league play thus far. That's next Friday on January 19th. Our friend Scott Oshman will bring you all the action that night as Glacier Peak playing Lake Stevens fairly tough the first time around, but unfortunately for them came away on the short end of it. And Isaiah Cole's going to pick up yet another foul, his fifth.
Yep.
He's gone.
Yep.
He's 5:16 to go in the game. That will put Trey Lawrence at the line. Isaiah Cole, boy, he came on strong there in the second half. He did end up with 14 points total, so nice job for him tonight.
How many points you have for him?
I have him for 14. 2 threes and 4 twos. We're going to get another player checking in for Monroe for the first time tonight.
I had him for 3 threes. So
even better, man.
We'll see. It's close. 1 point off. No biggie.
And checking into the game, I should say, McLean Thompson, a 6'1" sophomore.
Oh, there's a carry.
He's wearing the number 5. He's in tonight for the first time as Davidson dribbles it out of bounds.
He turned it over twice. Only caught it once.
Glacier Peak with the basketball. We should point out Glacier Peak, as we start to look at their schedule. Again, back-to-back nights this week. A little bit strange for both of these teams. They're both in action tomorrow. Glacier Peak playing Mariner, a home game tomorrow. Mariner still looking for their first win in the conference. Manis for 3.
Whoa!
He hits it.
Manis has been kind of quiet here for a while. He comes up with the big 3.
Only his second field goal of the night. His first one coming back in the second quarter. He does have a few free throws to go along with that. Sturgeon, right side baseline. Martin gets the rebound, kicks it ahead to Lawrence. Lawrence acted like he was going to go up and try to throw that one down. Pulled up as Chisholm was coming up from behind. Lawrence just very casually gets that one to go. 10 points on the night for Trey now. 66-42. 3 ball from the youngster who just checked in. Thompson, he misses it, and Glacier Peak grabbing the rebound. So, yeah, busy week coming up for Glacier Peak boys. They've got Mariner tomorrow night at home. Martin Luther King Day. They're down at the Showwear Center for one of the MLK basketball events. They're playing Spanaway Lake, one of the top teams down in the Pierce Conference League. A nice job by Manis to get that one to go.
Guess who gets that assist? Bobby Martin.
Nice job by Bobby once again. Spanaway Lake, one of the top teams down in that Pacific Coast League. Nice job as Thompson takes the pass from Davidson, or from Chisholm rather. So Davidson with another bucket. Yeah, encouraging folks to go down there. Spanaway Lake, one of the tougher teams down on the south end. I know they've got 2 losses to Lincoln and Wilson so far this year, but that's pretty much it. I think they're 9-2 right now. So Glacier Peak will be playing them again at the Showwear Center down in Kent. That's where the Seattle Thunderbirds play hockey. Always a fun time to see games down there. That is again on Monday as that one's left short. The young guy getting in there again. McLean Thompson going back up, and he's going to go to the line for 2.
Fletcher Douglas going to get his 4th foul, I think, out of that one. 3:15 left to go. He's probably not too concerned about that.
No, I think he's probably ready for a little break if he needs one.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be going anywhere. He's still out there.
Looking at Monroe's schedule coming up here as Thompson gets his first points of the night. A lot of people cheering him on again. One of the JV players coming up for a little swing action, so I think the fans are giving him a little extra cheering as he gets his first points. Second free throw coming up. Crowd goes nuts again. This is what you like about the high school basketball scene. It's the game, the outcome's a foregone conclusion, but the fans are still getting into it. They're still cheering on the guys coming off the bench, and I always enjoy seeing the festive atmosphere that you get from high school sports. As you're going to get a whistle away from the ball. An offensive foul called against GP. That one's going to be on Manis. Player control foul, so therefore we will not get free throws with 3:01 to go. Looking at Monroe, they play at Cascade tomorrow night. Again, 7:15 start time. And then on Martin Luther King Day, they have another road game. Not too far, though. They're going to be going over to Mariner. Sturgeon with a 3-point shot up, misses it. And doing the rebound and doing a nice job of coming away with that basketball is number 10, Braden Quintrill.
Braden just came into the game for the last couple of minutes here, last 3 minutes of this game.
Yeah, he had a little action there in the second quarter, and now he's coming back in again.
He's kind of off the JV team as well. Played a little time there tonight earlier.
Yeah, he's listed on both rosters, or primarily on the JV roster. So always nice to see those guys get another shot. As Quintrell looking for his first points of the night and misses the first shot. But yeah, to continue looking at this Monroe schedule, they're on the road a little bit coming up. They've got a game at Jackson next Friday. That'll be a big one. And then they come home next on January 23rd. It's a Tuesday night against a team that's always a big rival from them, the Lake Stevens Vikings. Sturgeon thought about the outside shot, dribbles into the lane, draws contact before the shot, so we're going to send him to the line for a 1-and-1.
Braden Quantrell made that second free throw while you were reading the schedule off there, by the way.
Controller with his first point, making it a 69-46 game. Taylor Sturgeon, a rather quiet night for him. He's been known to put up some double-digit games this year. He now has 3 points on the evening.
All free throws.
This is that one, and Bobby Martin staying in the game. A little bit surprised at that as Glacier Peak starting to empty their bench a little bit. Marshall Ross also in the game, number 4. Now we're going to get yet another player, Tony Collins, checking in for the first time tonight as he's over at the scores table. And Brian Hunter, knowing that he wants to get some of these young guys in and get his bench some action, calls a 30-second timeout, so we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get you the conclusion of this game and then on to our Speedway Chevrolet player of the game. So don't go anywhere. You're watching STSPN.com.
What do you think?
Back to the Monroe gym here at Monroe High School. We're going to make this fun. We haven't even decided on our player of the game yet. We've been throwing a few names around. We like to mix it up a little bit, so it's not necessarily a foregone conclusion that it's Bobby Martin, although he would certainly be a nice selection tonight, right?
Well, with 6 3-points, it kind of puts him up in the top of the list there at least.
Certainly. Braden Corwin obviously having a nice first half, 11 points when they really made their run to take a huge lead, so he's in contention. Fletcher Douglas doing a nice job in the second half. Certainly not a shortage of guys to choose from, that's for sure. So we'll maybe surprise the audience and keep that to ourselves as we still give ourselves a few more minutes to think about that until the end of the game. Do you have a vote, Ron?
It's hard not to think about Bobby, but it's also hard not to think about Fletcher Douglas because he's kind of carried him in there as well, and you know that's a good team effort.
Yeah, I've got Bobby and Braden on the brain right now because they did it in the first half when the big run was made to extend the lead out to 17 at the half. It's tough. I mean, again, it's one of those nights where it's kind of fun. I like it when there's question marks, and Bobby's got 20 right now. Braden had 11 all in the first half. Fletcher also has 11, 9 of which have come in the second half. So you got a little bit of variety in there. We're going to get a travel called as shuffling those feet. Once again, that's Russell Cochran. Seen Monroe do that a few times tonight. I say again, not meaning Cochran for the second time. It's his first travel, but certainly we've had a few other Bearcats do similar tonight.
I've got Bobby for 21, but
they just have 20. You're right. He's got 3 free throws and 6 threes. As Tony Collins looking to get into the lane, kicks it out. Quintrilla slowing it down, gets it back out to Collins. Nice job down low there as Fletcher Douglas is going to go to the free throw line.
Well, Fletcher's been working hard in there, so good. And Manis has been working hard too.
Yeah, Manis has done a nice job off the bench tonight. Again, a lot of his also coming in that second half. He's got 8 of his 11 in the second.
Good team effort.
We're going to get another player checking in for the first time tonight. Blake Rybar, number 32 from Monroe. Rybar, a 5'11" sophomore. Seeing a little action here in the final minute 36 is Fletcher Douglas once again getting a point. 70-47. Glacier Peak, a team that seems to be getting better and better as the season goes on. A few closer games early on in the season, and all of a sudden lately, just pounding both Kamiak and Monroe, two of the teams that were expected to contend for Wesco 4A title this year.
The foul on Grizzly number 21,
Tony Collins steps in and
his first foul, 9th foul.
connects with Chisholm, sending him to the line. That's the 9th team foul against Glacier Peak, so Monroe for the last time tonight in the 1-and-1 situation, and Chisholm makes it irrelevant as he hits the first free throw, his first point of the night.
Nice free throw shooter.
71-49, we're coming down to the end of the game. Glacier Peak about to go 10-1 on the year, and will no doubt improve on that number 19 ranking in the RPI computer system, as beating a top-tier team like Monroe will no doubt help them out. 13 to go here on the shot clock. We're approaching and now are beyond the 1 minute mark as we're down to our final 60 seconds. Nice job underneath. Quintrilla, just a little dish pass over to Douglas. Douglas with the easy layup, 73-49 score. Sturgeon into the lane, underhand layup, can't get it to fall. A nice rebound by Marshall Ross, getting his name called and picking up yet another status. Quintrilla dribbling it up rather slowly right now. 3-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock, so Glacier Peak will not be able to dribble this one out. Marshall Ross once again, Quintrilla. Little game of clock delay here taking place for the Grizzlies out on the perimeter. Down to 12 seconds, floater cross court to Collins. He puts up a 12-footer, misses it. Crowd really wanted to see Tony get his first bucket of the night. It's not going to happen. We're down to 4 seconds to go.
3 up and no good.
It's going to count.
Cochran.
Russell Cochran with his first bucket of the night. It's also the last bucket of the night. And that is the end of the game. Our final score, Glacier Peak 73. Monroe making it a little bit more respectable with a 52. Once again, we're going to take a break. When we come back, our Speedway Chevrolet player of the game. Do not go anywhere. You're watching STSPN.com.
What do you want, Bobby?
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
And welcome once again to Monroe High School, where the Glacier Peak Grizzlies run their record to 6-0 on the season in league play, 10-1 overall. And with us right now, the Speedway Chevrolet player of the game, Bobby Martin. Bobby, we were looking for excuses not to give you the player of the game tonight because we like to mix it up a little bit. But my goodness, when you come out and you hit 6 3-pointers, all of which took place in, the first 17 or 18 minutes of the game, kind of hard not to. Talk to us a little bit about the three-point shooting tonight. Were you just in a rhythm? Did you know early on that, hey, I think I got something going here tonight?
It might be the new court, actually. I came out warming up, and I just felt it a little bit. And so when it's game time, you let it fly, you hit a couple, you just feel good about it.
We joked about it a little bit early on, but Braden Corwin also hitting you and almost matching 3 for 3 for a while. Did you? Were you guys talking during timeouts or breaks? Just the fact that you both seem to be feeling it. We thought maybe you guys were going to get into a little three-point shooting contest.
Braden's he's a great player. He's a great three-point shooter, and sometimes we do duel it out in practice. Me and him, we do this drill where 2 people at a hoop, and then you have to shoot and then get the rebound and back. And it's me and him every time on the same hoop, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, 21 points, Bobby. That's a pretty good record for you. A little bit about your average, I guess.
I don't even know what it is. I don't really think about that. I really just focus on getting the wins. We're 6-0 right now. That's really I'm really happy about that.
Well, and talk about this Monroe game tonight, because obviously you knew coming into the season that they were going to be one of the top 2 or 3 teams vying for that title with you. Obviously, you guys know Colby Kyle and Isaiah and some of those guys fairly well, Spencer Davidson.
Yeah.
I've got to think this was a game that's been marked on the calendar for a while. What were the expectations coming into the night?
Stop actually Taylor. Stop Taylor.
Sturgeon, huh?
Sturgeon,
He was right up there.
He was leading scorer. And Cole can get it done. And it's a totally different game without Colby in there. And it was terrible what happened down there at that hoop.
And talk a little bit about what a Colby Kyle does for a Wesco 4A basketball game, because you really don't see anybody quite like him during the season. Does that change the game planning for you guys going into the night? How much do you talk about it?
For sure. I mean, he's such a good player from Monroe. He's a great player for a. We come in the games and we think about stopping him every time. Last year he actually dunked on me in the district championship game, and I want a little revenge, but I guess it didn't happen. So.
Well, and he got you down here in the corner tonight, too. I noticed the block 3-point shot. It seemed like there was a little mutual respect there, too. Talk a little bit about that. Do you guys know each other pretty well?
Yeah, me and him are buddies. I'm buddies with most people in Monroe. We get along well. And, yeah, me and him are buds.
Well, we got something special for you here tonight.
Oh, sweet.
We don't. It's a warm or cold night, so I got a sweatshirt, man.
Awesome.
Hold that baby
up
up
there.
there.
Hold it up for the camera there. Speedway Chevrolet player of the game. You got a collection of these going now, Bob.
I do. I have a couple shirts, and I guess I have this now.
Do you wear these out and about ever? Are you using them to? Are you going to frame them, or what do you do with these?
I actually might hang this one up.
If you don't want to wear that one, I'll take it from you. That's a good one.
Hey, one more game tomorrow night, and then you've gone through Wesco 4A one complete time, 2 round robins for the year. Talk a little bit about the season thus far. I know people questioned you guys a little bit this year coming in. Were they going to be able to hang with Kamiak and Monroe? The fact that you've had such resounding wins over the last week, defeating both of those teams rather handedly. Just talk a little bit about where this team is right now. And is the team getting better? Because certainly when you start to look at score differential, it would appear that way.
Yeah, we're getting better. I think our chemistry is getting a lot better. Coming in the season, we didn't start off too hot, in my opinion. I mean, we got wins, but they weren't really wins, you know. I think we're doing really good right now, and I think we'll keep it up.
And how do you keep from getting complacent for the second half run? Because you're going to now have a 2-game lead on everybody.
Yeah.
Really 3-game when you think about the tiebreaker situation. Yeah. I mean, is it tough? I mean, do you guys use RPI to perhaps kind of influence you a little bit, or do you? What do you guys do to make sure that you kind of keep yourselves focused, because you want to keep this consistency going, right?
We just go into every game just thinking that, you know, this is our game. We got to get it done every game. We can't slack off. We can't think the team is lesser than us. We just got to get it done.
Well, it's great to see you out here, Bobby. I know your coach is anxious to get you back in the locker room there. He's got a little after-game pep talk to go for you. So
definitely,
congratulations on being out here.
Thank you so much.
And I'm going to ask you one more question before you go, too.
Sure.
The passing game, too. I think so many times we think of you as being the guy crashing the boards or putting up the threes.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about what that means and how much you work on that, because certainly some of those rebounds that we saw you get and putting the team into transition and the passing, specifically for Lawrence. He seems to be the recipient of a lot of those.
Yeah.
Do you guys work on that a lot in practice?
We don't really focus on that in practice. I think that's something that just comes in a game, and you can't really practice that, I think. So when I get the ball down low, get a rebound, I look directly down and see Trey, and I try to beam it as hard as I can because Pets did that last year a lot.
That's right.
And so got to make up for Pets. So
taking the various roles, and it's working so far. So, hey, Bobby, again, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Nice job on the 10-1 start to the season.
Okay.
Don't shake Todd Elvick's hands. He's fighting a cold. So, again, go enjoy the Speedway Chevrolet shirt. And
thank you so much.
Go enjoy the victory.
Have a great night.
All right,
Thanks.
thank you, Bobby.
You too, Bobby.
Well, let's wrap it up here, Steve. Bobby with 21 points out there tonight. 6 of those three-pointers in the first half there, and a couple more in the second half. Big night for him.
Yeah, big night for Bobby. We'll give you a couple more rundown on the points here from Glacier Peak. 15 unofficially from Fletcher Douglas, 13 of which happened in the second half. Trey Lawrence, we just talked about him with Bobby. He had 10 points tonight unofficially. Bo Burns with 1. Braden Corwin, 11 unofficially. I think that's what we both have. And all of those coming in the first half. And then Evan Manis rising to the occasion. It looks like I have him down for 11. So, and Noah Foreman, we got to mention him too, the chairman of the boards with 3 free throws tonight.
Had a strong game tonight. Not a lot of points, but a strong game in the boards tonight again as usual.
And last but certainly not least, Braden Quantrala, who got a little playing time there and managed to get a free throw at the end of the game. So again, Glacier Peak, 73-52 victory, 10-1 overall in the season. More importantly for the Grizzlies, 6-0 in league play, and they will round out the first round robin of the year tomorrow night at home against Mariner, a team that is winless thus far. So certainly Glacier Peak in a nice position right now to have lapped the competition one full round robin into the year.
Yeah, looking good for them all the way out. So it's been a great night. Good basketball game.
Great night indeed, and another great night coming up Friday night. Again, Ron Henthorn will be on the call. Jackson High School. The ladies are actually on the court that night. It is the Timberwolves hosting the Kamiak Knights, 7:15 start time. Ron, have a great time with that game, and it's been a pleasure, my friend.
Been a pleasure with me too. If you've never seen girls basketball, you got to see it because it's exciting stuff, man.
And you know what? Again, I follow Wesco 4A fairly closely. That could be a very good matchup. So if you want to get out to a game or just watch it on STSPN, certainly a game that I would highly recommend. So Ron Henthorn, great job tonight. For Todd Elvick, for Sarah Elvick, I'm Steve Willits.
Don't forget all the guys out in the truck that make this happen.
Yeah, right, for the big ESPN-sized truck that's outside, and there's so many of them I can't remember all their names, Todd, so we won't even mention them. But again, we appreciate you watching tonight. Again, the final score, 73-52, Glacier Peak over Monroe. Have a great evening.
Good night.